experience that that creeping dread when a platform algorithm suddenly changes?
Oh, yeah, like absolute panic.
Right. And your short form reach just falls off an absolute cliff.
Just overnight. Gone.
Exactly. You feel like you're shadow banned for literally no reason. And, especially if you're building your brand here in South Africa, it can feel like the rug is just completely pulled out from under you.
It really is, I'd say it's the central creator problem right now.
Yeah.
Because think about it. Reach is rented.
Yeah. You don't own the platform.
Exactly. Reach is rented, but trust is actually owned.
Okay, I love that. And today we're unpacking the evolving creator economy. We're pulling from some recent case studies and strategy playbooks to figure out basically how to turn that rented attention into owned trust.
Which is so crucial because, well, the old model of just chasing views is breaking down.
It really is. And here's where it gets so interesting to me. I was thinking about this. And short form content is basically like standing on a busy street corner in Santon, right?
Yeah.
Just handing out business cards to strangers.
That is a great analogy.
You get a lot of eyes, sure. People walk by, they take the card. But a video podcast? That's entirely different. That's like inviting someone over for dinner to actually sit down and hear their worldview.
Right, and what's fascinating there is the psychology behind it. Modern trust is built through familiarity, not just, loud persuasion.
It's not just a sales pitch.
Exactly. A video podcast isn't just a piece of content. It's a relationship engine.
Yeah.
It actually solves that whole problem of audience fragmentation.
Because they're staying with you longer.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're creating this long-form familiarity that compounds over time. Short-form platforms, they optimize for interruption.
Yeah.
They want speed.
Right, the endless scroll.
Yeah, but long-form maximizes time spent. You're taking raw influence, which is really just fleeting attention, and you're turning it into authority.
Authority being like the ability to actually explain things.
Precisely. You become the explainer, not just the entertainer.
Yeah. Okay, but hold on. Let's unpack the actual mechanics of this. Because the intimacy is great for the audience, obviously. But you're telling me to sit down, record an hour-long video, edit the audio, chop it up into, like 12 different short clips, write a newsletter, A&D, somehow find time for a blog post.
I know, it sounds like a lot.
I mean, I'm exhausted just listening to myself say that. That sounds like an absolute fast track to creator burnout.
Totally. If you try to do it all yourself from your laptop in your bedroom, absolutely, you will burn out.
Yeah.
That's exactly why you need infrastructure. You need a system to process that one single 45-minute recording into your entire marketing supply chain.
Okay, so you're not doing it all manually.
Right. And this is naturally where a partner like Tim Africa comes in. They handle all those heavy mechanics.
Like the editing and stuff.
Editing, the repurposing workflow, the distribution. So the podcast actually becomes a repeatable business asset.
Yeah.
Not just this draining weekend hobby.
Right, that makes sense. But let's look at the business side for a second. Because good vibes and deep connections, they don't automatically pay the rent.
No, they definitely don't.
So when creators like Alex Cooper with Color Daddy or Emma Chamberlain with her coffee brand, when they made this jump to heavy audio and video, how did their actual business models change?
It was a complete flip.
Yeah.
The podcast literally became the primary business.
Wow.
Yeah. Social media was basically demoted. It just became the distribution channel to funnel people toward the audio.
So the short form just exists to feed the long form.
Exactly. And it works for everyone involved. The audiences develop this incredibly deep loyalty because they spend hours with the creator. They feel safe with them.
They feel like they actually know them.
Right. And for the brand partners, they get much longer integrations and significantly higher recall compared to, say, standard display ads or a 3-second sponsored post.
Wait, I have to challenge that a bit. Tracking ROI on a podcast is notoriously a nightmare. I mean, brands are so used to the instant gratification of a quick click on a short video, right?
Yeah, the classic performance marketing mindset.
Exactly. So how do you convince a sponsor to stick around when the metrics in long-form audio have traditionally been so much murkier?
Well, see, that's the old way of thinking about audio. Today, you absolutely have to prove ROI.
Right.
And you do that through very specific modern mechanics. Teams like Tim Africa, for instance, they lean heavily into the performance marketing layer of podcasting.
So it's not just guessing based on downloads anymore.
Not at all. We aren't just looking at broad download numbers. Through things like dynamic ad insertion, unique dashboard analytics, custom tracking parameters.
Okay, wait, give me a real example.
Sure. So using that infrastructure, you can literally trace a listener from the exact moment they hear the ad integration while sitting in traffic in Pretoria, right down to the moment they actually purchase the product online later that day.
That is wild.
It changes everything. You show the brands the exact value they're getting in real time.
Okay, so for you listening right now thinking, I need to stop renting my audience and I really need to start owning my trust, how do you actually execute this?
Without getting completely overwhelmed, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it still feels like a massive mountain to climb.
Start small. Start with a simple pilot season.
A pilot season.
Yeah, don't plan this massive, endless production right out of the gate. Just focus on one flagship episode.
Like what kind of topic?
Something provocative but core to what you do, like what people get wrong about my industry.
Mm-hmm.
Position yourself clearly.
So you just focus on getting that one really strong conversation recorded?
Exactly. Just have a conversation.
And I guess to keep that whole engine running smoothly, from the production all the way to the reporting we just talked about, working with a partner makes perfect sense.
Oh, 100%.
Because Tim Africa handles that entire amplification process, so you can just focus entirely on having the conversation.
Exactly. You bring the voice, they build the machine.
I love that. Well, here is a final thought to leave you with today. In a year or two, AI is going to be able to generate endless short videos entirely in your voice and your likeness.
It's already happening, yeah.
Right. And when endless novelty becomes free, and it's literally everywhere, a long-form, unscripted human conversation is going to be the only asset that literally cannot be faked.
That is such a crucial point.
Yeah.
It is the ultimate reality check for the industry.
Yeah.
Because attention builds familiarity, familiarity builds trust, and trust is what actually drives decisions.
So the question is, do you want to be the most familiar, trusted voice in your space, or do you want to keep explaining yourself from scratch every single time someone discovers you?
I know which one I'd choose.
Same here. If you're ready to build that relationship engine, you need to connect with the team that builds the infrastructure.
Highly recommend it.
Check out their website at tim.africa, or you can go to their podcast hub at pod.tim.africa.
And they're all over social media, too.
Yep. You can find them on Instagram and YouTube at tim.africa, on Facebook at tim.africa, and on TikTok at tim.africa. Stop handing out business cards in traffic and start setting the dinner table.
Tip pitches, here we go. Ideas fast, target flow. Catch the vibe, catch the spark. Light it up, ignite the dark. Tip pitches, with a bigger idea, switches. Podcasters, turn to marketing riches. Plug it in, turn it loud. Build your brand, make it proud. Pitch it high, pitch it sweet. Performance game, can't be beat.